6 for 24.
Don't get me wrong, Anthony Edwards is a great player. Anthony Edwards is a superstar. And Anthony Edwards has led the moribund Minnesota Timberwolves to the Western Conference Finals. That being said, the comparisons to Michael Jordan are stupid, they're unfair, and most of all, they are factually incorrect. Because despite Anthony Edwards' success, he has to do a lot more maturing, improving, and winning before he can even be mentioned with the all-time greats to play this game. So stop comparing him to Michael Jordan because it's not even close, and it's an exercise in futility. Because even at this early stage in their careers, MJ was the far superior player. Cue my damn music. Hello, YouTube fam! It's your boy, Big V. In a rare turn of events, I agree with Skip Bayless.
Last night, they won in spite of their leader, going 6 of 24 and 2 of 10 from 3.
Anthony Edwards absolutely got bailed out and was very, very lucky that they won. And it was not because of him. You went 6 for 24 for 16 points in a Game 7 elimination game. But in the press conference and afterwards, the media is saying this.
He played well the rest of the game. He played inspiring defense in the second half on Jamal Murray. Got a big steal, got a dunk. I give him an A-. You know why?
And you are saying this?
I had Jamal in handcuffs.
Bruh. Just then and there, that ends the Michael Jordan comparisons. Because you know what? No son of Michael Jordan would ever be proud of 6 for 24. And nor would he show off about playing handcuff defense when the guy he supposedly handcuffed went off for 35 points. Yeah, maybe leave it out, Ant-Man. It doesn't make you look good at all. And here's the thing. That wasn't even a one-off for the series. If we look at the 7-game series here, there were 3 games in which Anthony Edwards had under 20 points. And in those games, he shot less than 20 times, which again is the second reason you must stop with the MJ and even Kobe comparison. Out of 7 games, 3 of them you didn't show up because let's face it, despite you claiming to play good defense, you're known for offense because you have pretty much a fleet of defenders behind you who are there to pick up any slack for you. So again, you're not the primary defender on this team. It takes a lot of courage to be the person to shoot 30 to 40 times, to shoot 6 for 30, to shoot 6 for 40 and say, I'm the reason we lost this game. Meanwhile, if we compare Michael Jordan's hardest playoff series within his first 3 years, which was against the 1986 Celtics, in that series, Michael Jordan averaged 43.7 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 5.7 assists, while still shooting 50% and shooting an average of 32 shots a game. So no matter what, the buck stopped with him. Whereas in this series against the Denver Nuggets, Anthony Edwards averaged 27.7 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists on 17 shots a game. Yeah, one of these things is not like the other. Oh, it's only 3 games and Jordan got swept? Okay, let's take the next year, which is his 3rd year, and see a 6-game sample size. Over 6 games, Michael Jordan averaged 39.7 points a game, 6.7 rebounds, and 5.6 assists, and still averaging 30 shots a game. Oh yeah, and if we're talking about defense, Michael Jordan guarded the other team's best player every night because he was the best defender on his team, and it was a given. And that brings us to the next point. Anthony Edwards, after the Game 3 stinker, said this.
Take the blame for this loss. I came out with no energy at all. I came out flat, so.
And the whole media is so happy. Oh my God, look at the elevated level of responsibility. Yeah, dude, it's awesome. But here's the fact of it. Michael Jordan or Kobe would never allow for that. You know why? Because in Michael Jordan's mind, there was always at least one kid who was seeing him play for the first time. It's a different level of accountability. It's a different level of responsibility. And that's why I say it's actually not Ant-Man's fault. It's the NBA media's fault. Because you are placing unrealistic expectations on a kid who, if he does have a tough playoff series or makes a mistake, because guess what? He's 22, he will and has, you guys are going to tear him down with the same fervor that you built him up with. It's a different time period. Michael Jordan couldn't take games off. He couldn't say to the media, he couldn't pull an Anthony Edwards and say, oh, my bad, I can't do this. Sorry, next. That was not an option.
Mainly because when Michael Jordan was drafted in 1984, the league was in such a bad financial state that 5 years earlier, they had faced bankruptcy, and now we're looking for the next big star to hopefully take them into the next era. And Michael Jordan was one of 3 major players to do that and was the main rocket fuel. Which is why comparing him to anybody is pretty darn moronic and stupid and setting someone up for failure.
Now, let's look at the playoff averages overall. So in 22 playoff games, Anthony Edwards has averaged 28.5 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 5 assists, which are outstanding stats. Incredible. And that's why I say he's a phenomenal player. He's a superstar. He's the best young player in the NBA. I'm good with all of that. But there's that, and then there's Michael Jordan. There is a massive delta here. And to illustrate that point, in 179 playoff games, Michael Jordan averaged 33.4 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 5.7 assists.
In 6 times the amount of games.
Take that for data.
Better stats in every category. And can we at the very least admit that he played in an era where it was harder to score because the defensive rules were different? Yes, we can, because it's factually true. So Michael Jordan had way better stats in a way harder era. And yet Michael Jordan was going to the Boston Garden against the Boston Celtics, consensus top 5 greatest team of all time, and dropped 60 on their dome. He was so good that Larry Bird called him God. Yes, Anthony Edwards may look like Michael Jordan, but the similarities end there. Facts. And we don't need to be making the comparison to begin with. Anthony Edwards is a one of one. Fantastic representation of what the NBA stands for, of the swagger and athleticism and box office nature that the NBA commands. He's an excellent player. But as his performances have shown over time so far in his short career, he still needs to elevate his game many more levels before he's even close to being Michael Jordan's son. Please stop the madness and put some respect on both their names.